Hi, good morning. It's Monday, March 30th, and I'm here from Pickerington Public Library at home to help you with an art project today. My name's Miss Brian, and I work in the Youth Services Department at Pickerington Public Library, Maine. And this presentation is basically an art project that you can do at home. So my hope is that you will watch the video to get your ideas. I am going to go through the list of supplies, and I will post those at the end of the video as well. But we don't necessarily have to do this together. You can watch the video first, collect the supplies that you have available at home, and get to making some art. So today we're going to start with, I'll share my screen with you here. Printmaking. Move myself to the bottom of the screen here. So printmaking is the process of transferring an image from one surface to another. So what we'll be transferring is from a plate, and you'll find out what that is, to a piece of paper. And what's really cool about printmaking is that once you make your original design plate, you can use that plate over and over and over again. You can make it different colors. You can print it, 100 times if you want. So that's what I really like about printmaking. You make it one time and then you can print it as many times as you want. There are four major types of printmaking. There's relief, which is the type of printmaking we'll be doing today. Stencil, that's more like what you would use if you were screen printing a t-shirt design. There's also intaglio, that involves using metal, and then there's planographic as well. So I thought I should at least show you a couple of examples of some of the most famous prints, and this is the Great Wave off Kanagawa by an artist named Hokusai. It's made in about the 1830s. And this was actually a wood block print. So what he did was carve a piece of wood with some special tools and then inked up the surface and printed it. So you could probably think of printmaking like a giant stamp. It's kind of like a big stamp that you can stamp on a piece of paper. So that's a pretty famous one from Japan. And here's a more modern version. This is Andy Warhol's Campbell's Soup 1. This one is tomato soup in particular. He did do lots of different kinds of Campbell's soups. But again, this is a screen print, and he made his design. He put it on his screen, and then he transferred that to a piece of paper or canvas or fabric, whatever he was printing on at that time. So again, you can make hundreds of copies of these once you make your initial plate, which is going to be the surface that you carve into. So let's get to our supplies for printmaking. Again, I don't expect you to go out to the store to buy anything. I'm going to give you a variety of options for things you can use that you already have at your house. So here we have just a blank piece of paper. It's just computer paper, just plain old white paper. I used a dull pencil, or you could use a ballpoint pen. I have a piece of styrofoam here. This is from like a meat tray, just a leftover meat tray that I had washed off. You could also use like styrofoam plates or any other styrofoam you could find that's that kind of like thin styrofoam. You would need some water-soluble markers like Crayola markers. These happen to be those silly scents. There's the stinky ones and the sweet-smelling ones. Sharpies won't work for this, so again, just think of like kids' Crayola markers. And you want to make sure they're nice and juicy markers too. Fresher markers, the old dry ones won't work. We've got some extra paper here to print our design on when we're done. And then we also have a sponge and a bowl of water. So all things that hopefully you'd have at home. Like I said, I can give you some other options at the end if you're missing any of these items. So I took my piece of styrofoam, and because it had those edges around it, because it was a tray, I cut all those kind of wavy edges off and got just this shape. So I got this long rectangle. So I traced this rectangle onto a piece of paper so I knew, how big my design was going to need to be. And that's what you see, this kind of rough rectangle shape here. And I decided to draw a fish. I did a couple tries on a couple different pieces of paper, but this was the design I ended up with. I will tell you here, my fish's tail got a little too close to the edge. So when you draw your designs, make sure you try to keep it, away from the edges. Just one of those trial and error things. So I drew my design. I was happy with my design, and so I moved to this. You can see they're the same same size. The paper's the same size as the styrofoam. And I took a dull pencil after I laid my paper over my styrofoam, and I started to trace over the lines of my fish. And I just pulled back the side here to show that, okay, yeah, it's starting to push through the styrofoam. You don't want to push too hard where you tear through it all the way, but you want to push hard enough that it makes an indentation. So here's my completed transfer of the image. The paper did end up with some holes. I don't know if you can see the holes through here, but after pressing so hard through the pencil, it basically ripped my paper up. But I was able to transfer that fish image down onto the styrofoam piece. I just wanted to show you the thickness here from the side. I did go back over with the pencil and just made sure my lines looked nice and clean. So I did just do another pass with the pencil onto the styrofoam just to make sure my lines were nice and clean. And there we go. So the next step was to take your markers, whatever colors you choose, and you're going to color on the raised surface of the styrofoam. So anywhere where you put those indentations in with your pencil or your pen, those things are going to print whatever color your paper is. So assuming you're using white paper, you're going to end up seeing white lines there. So you don't need to put the ink in there. You just put the ink on the raised surface. So I put marker in the background as well because I thought it would look good if it had a background. If I didn't put that yellow around the edges, it would just appear white when I printed it. So I used some blues and grays, and I used kind of an orange background. The next step is to take a sponge, squeeze most of the water out, and do a nice light layer of water across your paper. You don't want to soak the paper. It won't work if you do that. So don't get a big puddle of water on your paper, but just enough water to make it a little bit shiny. Hopefully you can see there, the water's just kind of setting on top of the paper, but I haven't soaked it. If you get too much water on your paper, it's fine. Just give it a minute to dry up a little bit and you can still use it. So what I've done here is I've taken my wet piece of paper, I've laid my styrofoam down with the ink side down. And from here, once you put it down, please do not move the styrofoam or it'll make your print look very blurry. So as soon as you set that ink side down, keep your hand on it and then slowly go around and press along all the edges, all through the middle. Just make sure you get a nice, even pressure all over that styrofoam to print down onto the paper. So let's see what we've got here. Ta-da! So there's the fish. And you can see most of the ink came off of my styrofoam block, we'll call it styrofoam plate. The ink from the marker transferred over to the wet paper, and there is my finished print. I will tell you, when you print like this, it prints in reverse. So if you were going to try anything with like numbers or letters, you would actually have to write those things backwards. So you'd have to, like, if you want to put your name on it, you'd have to write your name backwards. So that can be a little bit tricky. So that's why I just decided to do just a simple fish. I do have a special guest here helping today. This is my daughter, Violet. She is 6. Want to say hi?
Hi, everyone.
All right, so Violet saw the fish that I made and she decided, hey, I want to make one too. But guess what? We were out of styrofoam. So we looked all over the house, couldn't find anything. Then we looked in the fridge and we actually had an egg carton that had these kind of flat edges. So we chopped it up. Yeah, we just kind of cut this part off and we used one of the flat sides of this part here. And we just transferred our eggs into something else in the refrigerator. So we got her a block all cut up. So again, we cut out a flat edge, then I cut the paper to be the same size. She decided on a bird drawing for her artwork. So we did the same process where we traced over top the paper onto the styrofoam so it made an indentation. You can actually, she used a purple pen, so that's why it looks very purple there. We used a purple pen to really press hers down in. So here she is coloring her print with the markers. And then we did the same process again with wetting the paper, put the ink side down, used a lot of pressure, and here, let's show them both of your designs you made. Okay. This is the print that she got. I don't know if you can see these very well on the screen. There's the two she made. So what we did when we wanted to make 2 prints, we just wiped off the first one. So she made the green one first. So then we wiped off her styrofoam. She colored it again, and we made the second print. So again, you can make it with new colors, try different colors every time you print these. So we were pretty happy with the artworks that we made today with the styrofoam. So here are the supplies I was talking about that you would need if you do have these at home and want to make a styrofoam print. So you'll need some paper for sketching, a dull pencil or a ballpoint pen, styrofoam, preferably no print. If you look more closely at Violet's prints, some of the ink from the egg carton did transfer over onto her print, but it didn't look too bad. It actually kind of made it look a little interesting, I thought. So it's okay. But yeah, if you can find just a plain piece of styrofoam, that's probably better. We need some scissors. I didn't put those in my original picture, but scissors to cut your piece of paper to size and to cut out your styrofoam. Those water-soluble markers, like Crayola markers, not Sharpies, those are permanent. Paper for printing, a sponge or a wet rag to wet your paper, and a bowl of water for that as well. So if you've got little ones at your house, I really think that, you know, anyone 4 to 10, or, you know, I'm an adult and I enjoyed this process. I really think that you could do the styrofoam project, but if you don't have those supplies, or if you want to try something a little different, we're actually going to try these right now. So I'm going to make my screen a little bit bigger. Anything with texture will print. So we are going to try right now live. We're going to try to print with some paper or toilet paper rolls. You might have those laying around your house. We dug these out of the recycling. So we left one in the regular circle shape, and this one we actually bent into a heart shape. Actually, we're gonna use that side up and size a little bit better. So we just kind of crushed the paper towel or the toilet paper roll into shape, and that's what we got. So we're gonna dip these into some paint. I'm gonna just pause the video here for a second while we get our supplies in front of us, and we'll see what we end up with when we print with these. So we'll be right back. And we're back. All right, we've got our supplies ready. We just, we had some paint at home. I chose green, Violet chose purple. We just put some paint in a little bowl. We've got some plain paper here, and we've each got our toilet paper roll. She's gonna try the hearts. I'm gonna try the circles. So we're just gonna dip those in our paint. And can you see I've got green paint along the edges there. Dip that in the paint, and I'm gonna print. Oh, look at that. That's kind of cool. Can you see your heart? Oh, that looks great. So Violet's made a heart. So let's try a couple more. Do some more. I might try to overlap some of my circles. Might be kind of fun. This is kind of looking like the Olympic symbol on mine. This kind of looking like bubbles too. It'd be neat if I drew my, oh, I could use my fish print and put these bubbles on top. Maybe I could use blue paint and it would look like it was a fish underwater. Do a couple more here on mine. And then let's see. All right, so these are just the plain circle toilet paper rolls. And Violet, may we see yours now? Let's see how your hearts are going. Oh, almost finished? All right, one more. We're just kind of stamping away here. Let's take a look. And here are Violet's hearts. It does look really good. Yeah, that was kind of fun. That worked better than I thought it would. And let's try one more. Made some food last night, and we had a leftover piece of lime. You want to grab the lime?
Sure.
We're going to try to print with a lime.
Okay.
All right. Would you like to dip the lime? So here's our little lime nubby. He's kind of dry. I put him on a paper towel so he would dry out a little bit. So we're going to see what kind of texture we can get from the lime. Do you want to try the lime with the green? All right. Place it there in the paint.
Okay.
Like this. Okay.
Okay.
Let's see how it looks.
So we're going to do this one together?
Yeah, we'll do this one together.
Okay.
I've got a little too much paint on there, so I'm just going to kind of wipe it off on the edge here. All right, let's see what happens. So I'm going to press it down. Let's see how it looks.
Just going to squeeze it.
Do a couple. Oh, that one looks better. So it looks like a little less paint is probably better. Oh, that's pretty cool. Let's show them this one.
Okay.
All right, so Here's the first one that had too much paint, but as we started to get some of the paint off, kind of made some cool textures. So I hope that you will take some of these ideas and find things that you could print at your house. We have one more craft here. Do you want to grab the corn we made last year?
Sure. For Thanksgiving.
So around Thanksgiving time last year, we wanted to make some corn. So we took some bubble wrap and we painted different fall colors onto the bubble wrap. And then we pressed the bubble wrap onto a piece of paper. When it dried, we kind of cut out the corn shape and we just added some green leaves back there too. So that's another idea. Again, anything you can find that has texture, you can use that to print, and you can try to use markers and water to print. If you have paint, there's all kinds of paint recipes out there. I've seen one that's just flour, water, and food coloring, so those ones are safe for kiddos if you don't have any paint at home. Again, nobody wants to go out and go to the store right now, so just use what you have at home, get creative, and see what you can do. So thank you for watching. I hope you make some prints for us. And I think we have just another slide here to show you. Let's see. There we go. So if you want to show us the work that you have made, depending on where you're watching this video, if it's Facebook, you could leave a picture in the comments of the artworks that you have made at your house, or you can tag us using the hashtag #PPLAtHome. And we hope to see what kind of artworks that you have made at your house. So thank you for watching, and we'll have another art video for you next week. Bye. Bye. Thank you. Bye.